In 1940, the world was left in shock due to the catastrophic collapse of the Tacoma Bridge. What caused this breathtaking tragedy? Join us as we dive deep into the dark and chilling truth behind this event. We'll explore the engineering behind the bridge and examine the chain of events that led to its ultimate demise. Hi. Welcome to another Random Memories that will take you on a journey back in time to witness one of the most tragic and dramatic events in history. In this video, we'll explore the events that took place during the Tacoma Bridge accident in 1940, a disaster that has become a notable moment in history due to the bridge's dramatic collapse. As you watch, you'll feel the thrill of the story unfold, revealing the true drama and tragedy behind this historic event. So, sit back, relax, and brace yourself for an unforgettable journey that you won't forget anytime soon. The construction of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in 1940 was a significant milestone in the history of engineering, not just in Pierce County, Washington, but across the globe. The construction process was initiated on September 27, 1938, and the bridge's longest span was an impressive 2,800 feet. The bridge's total length was 5,939 feet, making it the third longest suspension bridge in the world at its completion. The Tacoma Bridge was an exceptional achievement that showcased remarkable structural design and engineering principles that made it possible. The bridge's collapse on November 7, 1940, was a tragic event, but it paved the way for future advancements in suspension bridge construction. The Tacoma Bridge's construction in 1940 was a testament to the ingenuity and expertise of the engineers. Leon Moisseiff was the bridge's designer, and Strauss Engineering Corporation built it. Moisseiff was a highly skilled engineer and designer who is well known for his work on the Tacoma Bridge in 1940. He was appointed as the chief engineer for this project due to his vast expertise in the field of civil engineering. His innovative approach and attention to detail helped create a structure that was not only functional but also aesthetically pleasing. Even after the unfortunate collapse of the bridge, his contribution to the field of engineering remains highly significant. We can say that Leon Moisseiff was truly a visionary designer and a pioneer in his field. The central span increased in size to 2,800 feet, and the side spans to 1,100 feet. Moisseiff used a sturdy 8-foot plate girder support in place of Eldridge's 25-foot deep truss deck support. The towers under his design were altered to the 425 feet tall. Additionally, Moisseiff decreased the number of bracing struts connecting the tower legs from 4 to 2 above deck and 2 below. His modernist Art Deco tower and anchoring designs established a new visual standard for suspension bridges. With a central span-to-width ratio of 1:72, the new design produced a bridge that was significantly lighter and more flexible. This ratio was unheard of and far higher than the 1:47 ratio of the Golden Gate Bridge. The first bridge that Moisseiff fully created himself was the Narrows Bridge, which opened in 1940. Interestingly, he had never been the major, leading designer despite having contributed to the creation of several of America's great suspension bridges. The next difficulty was offered by construction contractors. Contractors complained to the State Highway Department when the Moran and Proctor substructure plans were put out to bid. They said that it would be difficult to construct the pier design. Clark Eldridge displayed his initial ideas. The contractors concurred, and the PWA gave its blessing to the revised scheme. Eldridge's design for the piers and Moisseiff's blueprint for the superstructure were used to construct the Narrows Bridge in 1940. What challenges did engineers encounter when constructing the Narrows Bridge in 1940? The physical landscape of the Narrows came first. The Tacoma Narrows is a challenging location for bridge construction. The water is deeper than 200 feet. For times a day, the waterway is swept by swift, dangerous tides that are traveling at nearly 8.5 miles per hour. The piers would be built to the greatest depths ever achieved, nearly twice as deep as the 1937 Golden Gate Bridge, which held the previous world record. Anchoring the caisson during its floating phases was one of the construction's first significant challenges. The length of the bridge and the level of the water presented further challenges. After the George Washington Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge, the new Narrows Bridge would have the third longest suspension span in the world. The last engineering difficulty came from traffic surveys. Studies revealed that the span was hardly ever used. It was impossible to justify building a bridge with more than 2 lanes. Both long and narrow would be required for the crossing across the Narrows. Construction on the bridge began in September 1938 and concluded in July 1940, with a total cost of $6.4 million. The bridge opened to traffic on July 1, 1940, but quickly gained notoriety for its dramatic swaying during windy conditions, which earned it the nickname Galloping Gertie. On November 7, 1940, barely 4 months after opening to traffic, significant vibrations induced by high winds led to the collapse of the bridge into Puget Sound. The fall was recorded on film, and it went on to become one of the most famous pictures of a building collapsing in the history of the world. The collapse happened quickly and without warning, and no lives were lost, as all traffic had been cleared from the bridge due to safety concerns about its instability. Witnesses reported that before collapsing, the bridge began to twist and writhe. Following the collapse, engineers around the world studied what had happened and concluded that it was caused by a phenomenon known as resonance. When the wind blows at the same frequency as the natural frequency of a structure, it can cause the structure to vibrate violently until it fails. The bridge's form was unstable from an aerodynamic aspect in the longitudinal direction. The vertical frameworks of the H shape enabled flow separation, which resulted in the formation of vortices that matched the oscillations phase. The energy produced by these vortices was sufficient to move the girders from their place. The issue that led to the collapse of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge was not a brand new issue, rather, it was an unidentified issue. Improved rigidity due to wind action may be demonstrated through a variety of design techniques, such as increasing the dead load, implementing dampers, or stiffening trusses. These elements were not initially taken into account and were added to consideration later on. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapse was an important lesson in engineering and served as a reminder of the importance of accounting for wind forces when designing bridges. The accident had devastating effects on the people of Tacoma. The collapse of the bridge was a shock to the entire community, as it was a symbol of progress and engineering excellence. People were traumatized by the sudden loss of property, and many were left unemployed due to the closure of businesses that relied on the bridge for trade. The city faced a financial crisis as a result, leading to cuts in public services. The Tacoma Bridge disaster remains one of the most chilling events in engineering history. It was a catastrophic event that changed engineering practices forever. The bridge, which was designed by engineer Leon Moiseev, collapsed due to an unforeseen flaw in the design. The flaw caused a resonance frequency between the wind and the bridge that caused it to collapse. In response to this incident, engineers began to take into account wind forces and other external factors when designing bridges. This became known as wind engineering and is still used today. Engineers also began to use more conservative design methods such as redundancy and multiple load paths in order to ensure structural stability. The accident also increased public awareness of safety issues related to large structures, leading to stricter building codes for bridges and other large structures. The Tacoma Bridge disaster has been over 80 years, and it still sends shivers down our spines. For more information about this incident, make sure to check the links in the description box. If you found this video entertaining, please press the subscribe button. Hit the like and leave me a comment for more random memories.